is we get so liberated in having our power back that we become arrogant in it. And we almost become that attitude having person. And I know I mostly be speaking to my like the black women out here. Cause we the main one. I'm gonna tell you right now. But learn how to be polite. Cause some of us just weren't taught how to be polite. Some of us just were not taught certain manners. Learn how to be polite. There's YouTube things there's videos on YouTube about etiquette, how to eat properly at a table with certain, with the silverware and things like that, how to speak to people and stuff like that. So when you are giving a negative response, when I say a negative response, when I say that, I'm not meaning like negative as in energy. I mean negative as in declining inquiry or something like that. We have to learn how to be very polite in declining people's inquiries. So you got to hit people with the, oh, I know you really, and it has to be genuine too. That's another thing. A lot of us are not genuine when we do try to hit folks with the polite corporate response. No, you still need to learn how to be polite. You still need to learn how to be appropriate. And some people just, no, I said no, damn it. Da-da-da-da. Like, that's how they be. They just mean as hell. Like, okay. Like, don't nobody want to be treated like that, even when you do say no. Because my last thing I do want to say about that is, sometimes you might have to ask for something. Sometimes you might need something. And when you think about how you feel when you have to ask for something, and this is not for the entitled people. This is for the people who like they really need something sometimes, and they have to ask people. You come humble. You don't come entitled. You come, excuse me, I know that this might disrupt your schedule or anything, but is there any way you can find it in your heart to do this for me? I really need it, and I'd appreciate it if you did. Is there anything I can do for you so I can make sure this happens? Like, people aren't able to swallow their pride enough. So that's where a lot of times that entitlement comes out, because they're so arrogant. They don't know how to humble themselves enough to know that they're asking. Some people don't even realize they're asking for something or that they need something out of somebody. That's what's so funny about entitlement. So always be conscious of that within yourself, because when you ask somebody for something, you know you're going to be humble. You need to come a certain way and have a certain tone in your voice. So if people are coming to you and asking you for something, you need to have that same respect for them too. You need to treat them like a human, because it will come a day your ass is going to need something too. So I don't say no and be on some goddamn, like, that's why I'm saying that trigger response is unhealthy, because what it's doing is setting you up to have a karmic disposition where you're going to be in the same position they was, because you done did all of that ranting and cussing them out, telling them what the fuck they is and ain't, and turn around, you in the next position, that same position in the next 6 months. So it's all about being humble, because a lot of times you're going to need things from other people just like they're going to need things from you. So we have to learn how to communicate without being entitled and without being upset or arrogant when somebody doesn't have it. I think that's important. I don't know who raised some of these people either. But no, I think that was important to say that. Yeah, man, we gotta say no. So it's a lot going on in the world, though. I know this live probably gonna be wrapping up in a minute, but I want to talk about some psychology stuff. I want to talk about this is another trigger word that everybody likes to use, but narcissism. I want to talk about psychopaths. I want to talk about antisocial personality disorder. I want to talk about personality disorders, period. And this is something I have been studying for the last few months and getting really into it because of Congratulations. Happy birthday. Happy solar return. 51. What's the matter? I know what you want. You want a cherry.
Better watch your mouth. You lie.
As long as it don't get on my white shirt, I'm good.
Yeah, you need some paper towel.
All right. Let's talk about personality disorders. Now, I would love to do a full YouTube breakdown on this and like really talk about it, at least from my perspective, because I don't like this thing. I don't like this. I don't like the way this is. I don't like that. That goes back too far for me. I don't like that. But anywho's, I want to talk about personality disorders, and I want to talk about a couple of them in particular, because people constantly be using the word narcissism, and I'm like, have y'all truly defined, at least clinically or medically, have y'all defined what narcissism is, or y'all just be calling people narcissists? Or do y'all know what that means? You know? And I actually got into the whole narcissism thing because Little Miss Entanglement did a red table talk, and she had a really great doctor on there. She looks Indian. She's like an Indian doctor. Her name is Dr. Ramani Duversola. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with my brother. I can't with none of y'all. But thank you though, girl. But Dr. Ramani, she got a whole YouTube channel. Now yet and still, even though she going in on her channel and she's really giving a lot of good information on the topics, it's still necessary for Black people to talk about psychology within their community. So even though I'm recommending her channel and y'all should go check her out, that's, you know, I'm still gonna be talking about these things because she has her own cultural background and definition and work of it. And I believe culture always plays, she even said this in one of her videos, that culture plays such a huge role in how these disorders are diagnosed and how they are looked at. Because, like, let's say more European, Eurocentric cultures are not going to look at certain traits of narcissism as a bad thing. If you are in a culture, a capitalistic culture, like you're a Wall Street, a Wolf on Wall Street or something like that, your traits of narcissism, your antisocial traits, your psychopathic traits are actually going to be looked at as a positive aspect, at least until you do some fucked up shit and you kill somebody or you rape somebody or you swindle somebody out of some money and they find out about it. At least swindle somebody out of some money that they care about. Now, if you're stealing from other people, that's fine. And that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about these. It's a cluster B personality disorders in particular that I really want to talk about, because one, they at least from Western medicine, the way they talk about it, they're the most dangerous. And from what I'm studying, they are. Okay? They are the most dangerous, and to themselves and to other people. Okay? And then these are the people too, it's like, y'all probably shouldn't be having no children like that. I said it. Because y'all can't be trusted to raise these children up properly and make sure they have empathic channel and opening and outlet in their mind so that they can feel. I'll just leave it there, so that they can feel. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about narcissism first in particular, because my live's probably going to cut off in a minute. So let's talk about narcissism. What is narcissism? Okay, it's not just a term of adjective you use to describe somebody who's into themselves. Okay, that is not what narcissism is. All right. People like that. People like that can have characteristics of narcissism, absolutely. But when we talk about what the true root of narcissism is and where it starts at, it starts with empathy or lack thereof. Good morning, cuz. How you doing? Or lack thereof. Okay? Empathy or lack thereof is the root of the narcissistic personality disorder. Okay? And that's another thing I need to make sure I give it's a degree of separation between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. I'll say that again. There is a difference. There's a fine line between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder is the actual medical term that they use, or psychological term that they use in practice. The clinical term, I should say. I think, they don't use medical in psychology. They use clinical. So that's the clinical term that they use to diagnose somebody with quote unquote narcissism. Okay. Narcissism is just an adjective. It's just a word. You just use it to describe people. All right. So that's number one. Fine. It's a fine difference between that. Okay. I'm going to have to look that one up. Please DM that one to me because I don't want to miss that one in the comments. So yes. Now, how do you know somebody has narcissistic personality disorder? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you are even suspecting anybody of having this particular disorder, I can tell you right now, they're not going to no psychologist or a therapist to get help. They are not going to go get examined. And as a matter of fact, they don't think it's a damn thing wrong with them. As a matter of fact, a disorder means that your life and one way or one or more ways, one or more ways are being negatively affected. Let me break this shit down for y'all, because this is where the shit gets real, and this is where people get abused, and this is why I don't subscribe to victim culture. This is why I don't subscribe to playing victim and constantly help me, I need it. No, you better fight your black ass out of that shit and stop fucking around. This is your goddamn life we talking about. We not talking about my life. We not talking about the other person's life. This is your life. You fight your way out that shit. You know good and well that A, B, and C ain't right with this person. I'm telling you this because it's a hard ass truth that a lot of people want to dilly-dally around. I'm not keeping my language in no way, shape, or form conforming to nobody. But people want to dilly-dally around the fact that, and when I'm having these conversations, I'm not talking to children, because that's a whole nother conversation. A lot of these kids are suffering because y'all big ass grown adults haven't grown up yet. So that's another conversation we'll have for another day, because those are the people who are really helpless. Okay? If you are an adult and you feel like you are a victim, you feel that you've been wronged, okay? Continuously put yourself in environments to be disrespected, spat on, shit on, gaslighted, devalued, not listened to. That's your goddamn fault. And I'm telling you right now, if you get anybody to feel bad for you, congratulations. But it will not be me. It will not be me. I don't do pity parties. I don't feel bad for people who continuously put themselves in these environments when they see that they aren't being treated equally with their own eyes, and they just can't figure it out. No, if you don't want to listen to that, if you don't want to see, God can only slap you across your face so many times. You want God to just continue until you get it? I mean, baby, what you want from us? But what I can tell you, and what we can do, is start talking about the tools that we have right now without money, without social media, just within our mind, that we can do to start getting out of these spaces. I'm not here to talk about what happened. I don't want to talk about what happened no more. I want to talk about where you can't talk about anything when you're still in danger. If you're still trying to survive and make it, there's no talking. You need to survive. You need to make it. We didn't have time to talk when the lion was chasing us in Africa, bro. We had to get up out of there. It's as simple as that. It's the same thing. It's the same warfare. Get out of the situation, get out of the environment, and then we can talk. But right now, we're not in that space. So narcissism, we know the difference between narcissism and the actual personality disorder. We know that a personality disorder has to be diagnosed. It has to be diagnosed by a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a therapist. It has to be diagnosed. These people usually do not go and get diagnosed. They don't even go to therapy. They don't get help because there's nothing wrong. This is the key part about there not being anything wrong. When you deal with someone who has schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or borderline personality disorder, even if you're borderline personality disorder is extremely disruptive, bro. It's disruptive as hell. Okay? It's disruptive at school. It's disruptive at work. It's disruptive at home. Okay? And it's going to disturb the person who has it. They're going to be disturbed by what is happening inside of them. So that's a quote unquote disorder that's easier to diagnose. When I say easier, I don't mean easier as in it's easier of the traits, but it's a thing where if it's happening to somebody, no, we're not doing this. If it's let's get out of there. If it's happening to somebody, it's going to pose such a disruption in their life, their friends and family and themselves. They're more likely to go get help because it's messing up their relationships with their most intimate relationships. Is messing it up. So these people will more than likely go get help, as opposed to a narcissist, because, their whole thing is about, them. It's about them. So let's talk about empathy and what that has to do with narcissism and why it's such a problem. So narcissism is the personality disorder. It's somebody who has the full-blown personality disorder, whether they've been diagnosed or not. When I explain to you, or if you go and look up how these things work, it will be a no-brainer to kind of, it's very clear. Like for me, narcissism is one of the most easier disorders to kind of point out of people, or at least if they have traits. They might not even be fully blown narcissistic, but there's varying degrees of these things. So you have to just keep your eyes open for that. So when we talk about narcissistic personality disorder, we're talking about an extreme lack of empathy. Okay, we're talking about these people are not able to connect to human emotion. Okay, these are the people who you're sitting there like how I'm reading my little story to y'all. This is a person who is they done fell asleep on the damn couch listening to me read because it's not about them. These are the people who you tell them something about you and they damn near cut you off to tell you about themselves. These are the people who don't know how to relate to anybody else unless it's talking about them. These are the people, and this is the one that I love because this is the one that I feel like is the most accurate, like as a feeling, what I feel being an empath. If you ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall, like if you ever feel like you talking to a brick wall, if you ever feel like you're talking to someone and because Because if you ever feel like you're doing good and somebody sees you doing good, and it almost pains them to know that they weren't a part of your success, that they couldn't beat on their chest, those are the type of traits we're talking about. Okay? Those type of characteristics in people. So when you start seeing those type of things, you talking people who don't ever want to do nothing you want to do. Oppositionality. They never, like, everything is always a no. Like, unless they make it up to do it. That's a problem. You talking about the people that if they don't get their way, they might have a catastrophic reaction. They might go cussing and ranting and yelling. These are the people that might develop substance abuse problems. These are the people that lie. Liars. Habitual liars that believe their lies. These people. Habitual liars. Okay? These are the people that will lie their way into any position. Okay? We're talking about these people. Dishonest. These are the people that will not show up for an intimate gathering, that will not be, let's say 5-6 people showed up for Baba Kalindi, memorial. And it's an intimate memorial, no cameras, just close friends. These are the people, they're probably not going to show up to that. But if they know that there's going to be cameras around, and they know, they hear about, oh, it's going to be 100 people there. Oh, they're there. Okay. These are the people that's never there for the intimate, real build, but are always there when the cameras come out. Those people. Okay. These are the people that can't keep their ass from in front of a camera. It's like if they're not in front of that camera, they are dead. Those people. Okay? We're talking about these type of energies. All right? We're talking about the people who are extremely charming. Okay? That's why I don't like all of that. Like, niggas start running their mouth in my face about what they got and want to go. First of all, I got a man. So I don't know who you trying to impress. And 2, shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear what you got. Don't nobody care. I don't. Talk about something real. These are the people who don't know how to read the room. Those people. These are the people who come in just talk because they think they got it, and they look around and they're not even embarrassed because they have no empathy. They have no self-awareness. They don't know how to think. Those people. Okay. The live is wrapping up. I got 30 seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I